Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of SMEP on 2020 Career Mode. Today we're doing episode number 29 for the Italian Grand Prix Season 2 round 13. So this is the last European round of the series. It's actually taken us a month and a bit to actually get here, compared to how quickly we finished off Season 1, but there we go. There will be a Season 3. Whether we go on from Season 3, well, we'll see what happens, of course, there. But yes, not a lot happening, or only a short time between Belgium and Italy. We will replace our gearbox as well, because it's had the six times now, although the wear is very minimal on that as well. But going into this one then, Ferrari have brought an upgrade, so they're going to be a little bit faster. Obviously, the performance index is a lot closer a lot closer on the track than it is here between ourselves and Mercedes and Ferrari. And then, of course, we've got Racing Point still ahead of AlphaTauri, Renault, Alfa Romeo, and McLaren very close. Haas an upgrade for the first time, so yes, compared to last season, we need to put the laps in qualifying. But I made a mistake in qualifying. I thought it would be easy, a little bit too easy. So I thought I'd put the AI level up to 99, and it turns out that they've actually fixed I think they may have fixed the quali practice program glitch, because we were faster, but yet we're not actually doing much here, which is a bit interesting considering the fact that was on an engine that was more worn. So obviously lower the AI difficulty back to 98 for the race. That seems to be the AI difficulty we're going to stick with for the rest of the season. Then we will review at the end of the season to see whether or not we need to go down a level, or whether up a level, or whether 98 is where we should leave it. But yes, going in the slap, then we're 2/10 up on our previous time. Vettel's pushing in an 18.2, a second faster than what we've done. So in the actual lap, the Leclerc is 17.9 there, so he's going even faster there. The Ferrari, of course, brought that upgrade, so we're only 2/10 up on this lap. It's not a great improvement compared to sometimes where you're like a second up compared to your previous lap. This is very disappointing. 2.5 tenths up, and it's only 13th. So, well, at least it gives us the alternative strategy, which around Monza is definitely better for us compared to the likes of Belgium, although it should be. But our teammate is up there, a lot up the front. Can we catch him in the race? It's time for today's Italian Grand Prix.
It's time for the Italian Grand Prix once again, here at the beloved and iconic Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. With the lowest downforce and drag of any circuit in the season, expect to see drivers making the most of the slipstream effect here today. With top speeds up to 215 miles per hour and an average lap speed of around 155 miles per hour, Monza's reputation as one of the fastest circuits in the sport is well earned. We have 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with the best overtaking chance coming into the heavy braking zone of the Turn 1 chicane. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of Turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap. So always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position and Alexander Albon lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo and Bottas, Ocon, Sainz, Stroll and Sergio Perez, Giovinazzi and a Red Bull, Kevin Magnussen and Norris, Russell, Gasly, Max Verstappen and Nick de Vries, Kvyat and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Well, we're closer. 12th place as well now, because somebody's had a penalty, I can't remember who. We're going to change this around. Start mediums, get rid of them as early as possible. Looks like the tyre wear is good here, good enough to do 8 laps on the softs instead of doing the 6-7 strategy. So maybe having one lap longer on the softs, but it shouldn't be too much. And let's fire the lights out and away we go. And it's a good start. We get rid of Giovinazzi straight away. We're now going around the outside of Magnussen. We're going to get Perez as well. We're going to have a look down the inside of McLaren of Carlos Sainz, as we got the yellow flags out, of course. A bit of annoyance. I hate that when they actually put yellow flags. They're not actually yellow flags, it's just that people are going a lot slower because of the airspeed. As we've got Bottas, he's had a woeful start. He's been overtaken by Stroll, and now look at this with overtake and enrichment. It's not even with DRS, and we're past him. I mean, yes, we may have the fastest car, but definitely not in a straight line. I mean, we're the slowest car in a straight line, and yet we've got ahead of Bottas, and they're all having a look. As we look at our teammate, who's disappointing the Tifosi there this afternoon, and is leading the Grand Prix. Can we catch him though? Although, saying that, he's got an issue, and Albon is out of the race again. I mean, I may criticise him for being not the teammate that I wanted in this career mode. Obviously, he'd prefer Verstappen over Albon, but nevertheless, he has been robbed of quite a few positions this season. We have been upgrading the durability. We do have the worst of the durability, but I've got to think that his AI is not managing the engine parts properly as we rejoin after the safety car. And we're not going to come in now. We're going to come in on around lap 8, maybe. That's the target. We'll see if the AI, as we understeer so much time, we sort of miss our braking zone there. That allows Ocon to lose out a place to Stroll. Stroll is trying to get past us now. His DRS closed there a little bit earlier, or that might just be me on my screen, but I'm pretty sure that's an interesting one if Stroll's DRS isn't quite working there, or if he just closed it early because he thought he was past. But Ocon then got back in front of Stroll with DRS, and I made a very late call because Ricciardo and Vettel are coming in for their stops. Now, I don't know where this is going to be, because obviously you've got Hamilton, Perez and I think Kvyat, who made their stops under safety car. And I was thinking at this point, well, they've gone past. Should I have gambled earlier and gone on to softs early, or maybe into hards? But hards are such a bad race tyre, especially on a 25% race when everybody's going to be on mediums. Mediums would have probably lasted, but we started on mediums, so the timing screwed us over. So these two are at the front from Danny Kvyat in 3rd place. So Hamilton is on course to upset the Tifosi and win this Grand Prix from Sergio Perez in 2nd place. The Ferraris are running very close together as we set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well at the end of lap number 9. 120.7, that's slightly faster than I believe what Charles Leclerc has managed on his hard. So Leclerc, he's probably close to 100 rated, as we're all catching up now to Danny Kvyat. The Williams is so slow, it's about 3 seconds a lap slower. He's on warm mediums. He is definitely going to be the man that we will look to catch. But first of all, and foremost for us, is Daniel Ricciardo. Kvyat, you know, she's on the top left there, has been passed by both the Ferraris. We're going to use DRS and overtake on Ricciardo, and it's an easy move down the outside into turn 1, which turns the inside, and up into P6. And Kvyat, we catch him on the final lap. So again, I would love a 35% career mode, because it would allow a little bit more, but for those of us who don't really have enough time, I don't have enough time to do a 50% career mode, so, as well as my team, which is 50% and all the other stuff. So yes, I think a few more laps we probably would have caught the Ferraris, but we are going to try and see if we can get in front of Danny Kvyat here. We're going to pull to the left hand side and move on with DRS and up into P5. It's probably where we would have finished. The Ferraris, we were faster than them, and we would have, in about 5 laps more, we would have caught them. But P5 from 13th on the grid is definitely not a bad result, and I think that maybe, I don't know what would have happened with the strategy doing the 8 laps if the safety car hadn't intervened, or if we had gambled as well and come in at the end of lap 2. But if we'd gone on to the hards, I don't think would have been the right call, and the softs, would they have lasted that long? I know we got good tyre wear, I know we've got a few tyre upgrades on here, but I don't think, is that enough? I don't know. We could be a gamble, and we could have been on for victory there, but I don't know. I mean, we were. That's the thing. I mean, we've got P5. We finished ahead of Renault. The Renaults. Would have we been able to have been on the same pace as Hamilton and Perez up at the front? Being able to have kept the Ferraris at bay, especially the fact they only finished 7 seconds behind Hamilton in the end, so they were definitely catching as the fresher tyres. So I don't think we would have lasted. So I think we made the right call. But obviously, if you think I'm wrong, then let me know in the comments below what you think about that. In terms of the drivers, it is still Leclerc way out in front. He now opens a 24-point gap over Valtteri Bottas, who'd scored absolutely nothing today. Lewis Hamilton has moved himself back in. He's only 27 points behind. Our main rival, I think, now is going to be Sebastian Vettel, unless we can get another race win and have where all those top 4 have a bad day, or they crash out or retire. We haven't really seen any crashes. Danny Kvyat as well, getting some Williams, definitely was the right choice for them to gamble. They should have probably bucked the gamble with both cars and get both cars in the points, but for Kvyat, he's got 9 points now, so it might be a tall order for Haas to actually be able to not avoid getting the wooden spoon in this series, and they're actually only just behind McLaren as well.
Out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
We did. We had that great start, and in the end,
there are rumours that you're looking for a contract with another team.
No, we're not going to Racing Point. No, what I was saying was we had used the soft tyre at the end to great effect.
More like Dodgems than Formula 1 today, wasn't it?
Not quite. I think she's moaning about Ocon. There, that was the only really incident that was a bit nerve-wracking. Again, we just went a little bit too deep, really. And again, that sort of half missed the braking to trying to get that double overtake. We've lost the rivalry to Bottas, though, although we did gain on him in a massive way. So that's a shame. And our driver acclaim, all that we gained from that race, we actually lost due to losing the rivalry. So I think going forwards, I don't know who we're going to pick. Obviously, we've got to think about that, because they could just have a magical race. Obviously, I think Vettel is definitely going to be somebody that we're looking forward to. We've got that major engine upgrade coming. I'm hoping that's going to be either available, that should be on the car in time for the Japanese Grand Prix. It should be out next week on the channel as well, so that will be coming, and we'll then look forward and see if we can fit one last aero upgrade maybe on the car before the end of the season at Brazil. It looks like there isn't going to be a regulation upgrade, but I could be wrong. It could, if there is going to be one, it will get announced at the next Grand Prix at Japan at Suzuka, a track where I've done okay in the past, but it's not one of my favourite tracks on the calendar. So yes, but if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see more episodes of the F1 2020 Red Bull Crew as when they come out. Until the next VR6 time, take care, thank you so much for watching, enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.